Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here together again. You know, I'm feeling. Just before I came on, just now I said, "Oh, I'm feeling kind of spunky and happy." I don't know why exactly I am. It's like nothing. It's so funny because, like, you know, sometimes I come on and, you know, I just like, oh man, I've been through the day. It's like, okay, I'm doing my show now. Let me get my, you know, head together. And then, you know, it's not that it's never forced. I will say that because, you know, I really enjoy you, the people out there. I love you individually as well as a group, as I say all the time. So it makes me very happy to be here, and I always feel good afterwards and even during, you know, which is a wonderful thing too, to enjoy the process of and then the process after. It's a wonderful thing. But today I don't have to, you know, zip up my energy any extra. I'm not sure why. It was just a good day, kind of, for whatever reason. I think, honestly, I don't even know why I'm getting into this, but I think, honestly, I've, you know, really come to a point of over a couple things that I've been thinking about over some of the last weeks, you know, and I realize I don't give a crap anymore. And it's so liberating. You know, when shit gets you upset, you're like, I know, please. Oof. But no, seriously, you know, I get into this a little bit sometimes because, you know, I tell people that obviously I do contracts. I work in the field of contracts for the federal government, which is like, I'm telling you, if you hate your children out there, I would force them, if you hate your children, force them to become contract specialists for the federal government. You will destroy their very soul. You will destroy their soul step by step. Each document, each level of review, it'll just suck it all out of you. Hey-o. But you know why I'm so happy today, honestly, is I think it's because I found out today, received a call from my immediate supervisor, and it turns out that, you know, he's moving on to another position, which is so funny because he just started in this space in May, so he's only been there a little time. I haven't been there much longer. I worked at a different place before and blah, blah, but I've been at this particular spot for since like February, and, you know, and people dropping like flies over there because, like, you know, one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing, which is fine because that's just the way government is anyway. I mean, it's obvious. Listen, what I see in my day-to-day operations of being a federal employee, it's just, you know, it's like no wonder the government's falling apart and operates like total shit, you know? So, I mean, it's pretty much it's self-explanatory. If you get in there and work a little bit, if you really want to know how bad your government is and how much your tax dollars are being wasted, go ahead out there and, you know, get a job with the government and you'll see. As a matter of fact, I am a perfect example of your tax dollars being wasted. I think I'm on the clock right now. Thank you. Thank you out there for dumping your tax dollars into supporting this show. Hey-o. That's my only way to make money out of the show. I have to do the show when I'm doing something else that's making money. You know, then I'm getting paid in some type of way. I'm just, you know, little half jokes, half not. You decide for yourself how much I'm joking and how much I'm not. You're going to have to get to know me well. Actually, I'm pretty open and honest. So, you know, anyway, I pretty much say what's going on because I'm really not afraid of anything. Like, I don't give a shit. We'll see how long I even last here. I just realized when this, what I'm saying is when this guy says he's leaving and he's a younger guy, you know, and I just, you know, with family and stuff, and he's found another position, he's moving on. And that's like, I was always worried. I'm always worried of, like, you know, just from the way I was raised and stuff. Oh, who's going to call? Am I going to be in trouble if I didn't do this or I missed that or some kind of blah, blah? And I'm like, no, I realize, like, you know what? I start talking to all these different people through the organization and everybody says, like, oh, well, this sucks. And, oh, you'll see. And nobody knows what's going on. Nobody answers you back. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? This is great. I'm just going to, like, just disengage completely. And if someone decides to call me one day and ask me for something, I'll be happy to give it a shot, you know? And by then, you know, everything takes so long anyway. So, I don't know. I'm sorry to go on this tangent, but I always think about this stuff. At this point in my life, I'm taking it pay period by pay period. I always say any day can be my last. The paperwork to resign is filled out. It's just a matter of when I decide to send an email So, hopefully, it's like, if you're like got like mental problems or whatever, like it's not a good idea to, keep like a loaded gun around or something, right? It's the same thing like with me. I shouldn't have like paperwork to resign just written out and ready to go, because it could be any moment where I just decide to snap out and push that button and send the paperwork in and go, oh no, I was just kidding. No, but anyway, so thank you for bearing with me here in these first 5 minutes. You guys, sometimes I like to come on and just talk because this is my space to be with you, the people. I'm an open person. Again, there's no put-ons here. Everything's about being real, being yourself, living true to your heart. I think it's important for us to be honest and, call things out in our real world. Everybody always wants to, put on a smile and go through the little facade of acting certain ways in certain situations, when in the back of our minds we know that, crap is messed up, right? I mean, we know it. So, but at the same time, most of the time we don't want to admit it, right? Just because we're just engaged in the physical propaganda paradigm that they've got set up for us here, the mainstream agenda and such. So, they're always trying to push us down, and they push down our very souls. And that's what we talk about here on Operation Status Quo. And by the way, I haven't said it yet. I am Pete Palma. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I am your user-friendly host. This is Operation Status Quo, a space where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life, and then we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. You have to find out what works for you, where your heart is resonating, and how you want to live, and you just got to go do it, and don't give a crap about what other people say or think or judge or anything. As long as you're being nice, you got to be nice. Like, remember in Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze says, I want you to be nice until it's time to not be nice. Well, how do we know that? You won't. I'll tell you when. You're the bouncer. I'm the cooler. I'm sorry. Roadhouse, Patrick Swayze. Anybody out there? Anybody with me today? Yeah, come on. Are we feeling good? Where's my horn? Yeah. Oh, my God. I really love you people out there. I can't tell you how much I do. And this is like the exuberance of my soul. This is what I'm here for. This is why I do this darn show most days of the week, because I love you people, and I just love sending out these. You feel those positive vibes, and they're positive vibes. I'm just giving them to you and giving them to you. It's like, just feel it. Yeah, feel it, and boom. Be it, baby. Be it. Where's my bombs? Did I pass my? I got to go back over here, because I want you to be it. I want you to feel it, and we got to get to it. Where is it? It's over here. I know it's ready. There it is. Let's get some. Yeah, bam, feel it. All right. I'm really sorry. I want you to know that I'm not mentally disturbed mostly. I just have a spunky personality. I'm a quirky little bald guy. All right, seriously. Welcome to Operation Status Quo here. Today is the 6th of July in the good year 2023, and today's program is entitled Social Media Mania. Mania. All right. I like that. I should try to do that more often. But social media mania really just kind of had the thought. Really what sparked this thought to me was yesterday I had noticed on Facebook that one of my friends had posted something in regard to the 4th of July and labeling it as, like a pagan holiday and the satanic ritualism that's embedded in it, beyond what they tell us that the 4th of July is really about. And someone else on Facebook, another friend of mine, countered what that person was saying, trying to say that, not to bash everything, and try to look at things in a, in a good way, even though bad things are going on. Like, don't always have to put everything down. And I realized it turned into a little not bad tit for tat, but just a little, tit for tat with them. And first and foremost, I will say this because I say this all the time. We in this world, we have to remember that we're living in, a matrix basically, and that our 3D paradigm is really merely, just a creation of, whatever. It's not the real truths of our life and all that type of thing. We're all one energy. Everything is happening purposefully, intentionally. Even the stuff that seems horrible, like the Satan worshipers and the adrenochrome and all that crap that goes on and on. Like, I know it's sick and horrible, but at the same time, it's all part of the oneness, because you're never going to have true, ultimate peace and love without the opposite energy of just disdain and hate and evil. And I'm not saying, because that's the point I'm making, is there's no good or bad. There's no right or wrong. Everything just is, and the energies vibrate, and each soul is attaching and being with different frequencies and vibrations as they need to for their own growth in their journey, right? So, I mean, that's kind of like the basis of everything. So with that being said, that's why I never take anything over the top seriously. Like, as much as I agree with the person that's talking about 4th of July, being a pagan holiday and the behind the scenes crap of what it's really about and everything that goes on and blah, blah. But at the same time, we're living each day in this world, and we don't want to live so heavily in that, right? That's all I mean. It's like, it's okay if you believe that, or and you realize that, and it's part of what you're trying to stand up against. And I think we should realize it and stand up against it and try to skew the energies more towards truth, light, and positive. I mean, that's ultimately the goal all the time, is to get to that space of oneness and letting go of ego. And I just think when we, get too heavy, even on the good stuff, like I think it's a good thing that these elites are being exposed, that, all the powers that be that run the world are being exposed, and of all the evil crap they've been doing and how they've kept us as socioeconomic slaves for all these years and everything that's going on. And again, even what I'm going to be, this is part of what I'm talking about with social media mania, because, social media is like a tool that they use to divide us, right? And keep us separated. And, I'm not saying because these two individuals had this particular conversation that's part of that, as much as just trying that what I'm saying here is more of trying to say, no matter what we believe, no matter where we are on the journey, as it were, I just think it's important not to get too heavy down those roads. I mean, it's you can get very angry quickly, right? If you start thinking about all the corruption and all the, even what I just said in the beginning about my job and, total waste of taxpayer dollars. I mean, I can't tell you how many, most contracts I see they're illegal, I mean, so, and it's just part, but, we're going to fight everything, because the whole point about it is not fighting it, because once you get, I don't want to say not fight it. I think you should stand up and be what you want to be. If you want to fight, let's take the word fight, the negative part of fight out of it in a sense, and say, when we experience something in life that doesn't resonate with us or gets us worked up, agitated, angry, and feeling that, there's some sort of injustice being done, instead of looking at in a militant way of, take these people out and blah, 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 in an angry way, how do we reflect it back to find light in our hearts and be a little more just live the change that we want to see. I've kind of talked about this before. It's like, if we all just kind of turned off the mainstream media and stopped feeding into the system and the agendas, I mean, what would happen to them? They would dissipate, because they're not going to exist without someone giving attention and energy to it. And that's the whole purpose of realizing each of us as sovereign entities, creations, part of divinity, and to be able to live true to ourselves, and that would create the world we want to see. It's a real slippery slope, because everybody's been, like I was talking yesterday about being bred to destroy. We're all just so programmed in this modern world, and it's hard to kind of separate ourselves from that. Sometimes we feel that this is what it is, and this is who we're supposed to be, and so on and so forth. But the social media aspects that I'm kind of talking about is I find interesting, especially, obviously with the younger generations, because they've come up with the phones and the technology so much more. But it just seems like, it's everything's been replaced, right? Like social media has been the space where people communicate, as opposed to actually, meeting with each other, shaking hands, having a conversation face to face, or at least a phone conversation, and actually talk, and get to know each other and that type of thing. It's always these messages. And like I say, the conversation I saw between these two friends of mine on Facebook yesterday prompted it, because I'm like, they both seem like cool people to me. I don't know them over the top well. I've met them through some of the groups that I'm in. And anyway, but they, what about just having a conversation, and when you start typing stuff and telling somebody that, you shouldn't say it like this, or, you should maybe think about this, or, either way, it's always going to get somebody's back up, right? Because somebody says something, especially on Facebook, you're putting something out, or any of those things, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, you're putting something out, you're sharing yourself in some kind of post or whatever, and then somebody comes back and says blah blah against it, or make some kind of snarky comment or something. It's human reaction. It gets your back up, and then you get back on and you want to defend yourself, and it turns into this, you're sitting for 15 minutes, backspace, and get the right word, say all, when, if you just communicated, an actual conversation for like 10 minutes, you probably would have had a whole different view of what the person intended by the post. I can tell you tons of times that I've put posts up that were misinterpreted of what I was trying to say, or sometimes I think I'm really sending a message that's going to resonate with somebody, and they don't, they are totally on another space with it. And then if I try to explain back, well, no, I meant this, and then they meant this, and it's like, well, how about we just connect? How about we just connect and talk, and and figure it out, and take 2 seconds instead of all this back and forth. And then the other dynamic I find interesting with the social media is that we don't even realize who we're talking to, like, as far as how many people are even real, how much are, bots, algorithms, all that type of stuff. I've experienced this with, as I've mentioned here before, I am a licensed realtor here in Florida. So if you're looking to move to the beautiful Sunshine State, please feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to help you, especially as a member of my audience. I should do something special for members of my audience, maybe like a special deal, half price on a house. Can I offer that? I don't think I have the means to cover, unless you buy one of those tiny homes. Maybe we can work something out. But seriously, there's a new technology for this lead generation. Like if say you're in the real estate business, right? And so anyway, for generating leads, if someone goes online and starts putting in, like, they're looking for a home, and they put their information in a little bit on the search or whatever, this AI technology is designed to actually interact with the person that's typing stuff in and doing a search. Like as soon as they put their email or whatever the case may be and what they're looking for, all of a sudden this bot pops on and says, hello, I'm such and such, I see you're looking for a house, blah blah blah, or whatever, right? And then these people wind up having conversations with this bot, and then the whole idea of it, though, is like the AI is doing this, but then once, like, say it was me, it was like a lead that was sent to me, then I would take over for the AI. Once I see the AI is having the conversation and I realize this is going on, then I jump in and I take over and start talking to the person. But, in the meantime, if you read, I've seen samples of this, and people start chatting with the bot, and they don't even realize, that you're talking about, oh yeah, I have kids, and, they're like, they think you're talking to a real person. And I don't know, ethically a little bit, like, I'm not sure. I mean, I understand technologies are changing. AI is going to be a part of things that go on in our future for sure, and we're going to have to get adjusted in certain ways. But I just never like the idea of tricking people in any way. I'm not saying it's tricking people, but in a sense, right? Like, I think it should almost be up front. Hey, I am a computer algorithm. I'm going to ask you some general questions and then put you in touch with a live person or something like that. Like, I don't know. I think I would feel better with that in a way, as opposed to, I'm not against it. I mean, I'll give it a shot, for trying to make a business, but at the same time, I feel I just don't like to trick people. And if somebody's sitting there thinking that they were talking to a person, and then you realize that they're having like a heartfelt conversation and it was a bot, I really don't know. But I guess we'll see how the technology improves over the future. As far as that part goes, maybe I'll feel better about it when the AI comes to a point where it can be more human. I always say, that's why I hold off on dating. I'm waiting for the really good robots to come out, or I'm going to wait until I'm elderly and I'm going to check myself into one of those old folks homes, because I hear there's lots of orgies and stuff going on in those old folks homes. So, and the great thing is too, is everybody's dropping dead. So I could be with some woman in there and she dies 2 days later. There's no there's no commitment, and I can move on to somebody else. Hey-o. I want the sick ones, please. The ones who are the ones on hospice. When I go to the old folks home, I'm going to date all the women on hospice. There we go. Yeah. Let me How about a quickie and I'll give you some morphine and we'll call it a day. Oh, man, I crack myself up. I'm sorry. I really, really do. I have to. I have to crack myself up. But seriously, and I just feel that, the social media, as it's not a bad thing. Nothing is a bad thing. That's what I just got done saying. There's no good or bad, right or wrong. I think there's good and bad and everything. There's positive aspects to, being able to stay in contact with people or communicate with people through means like Facebook or Twitter or whatever that maybe you wouldn't normally connect with, or it's a good way of finding like-minded groups or anything, whatever. It's not horrible. But at the same time, there's a lot of trickery going on out there, and we don't know what's real. And then the people that are younger, the point I guess I'm really trying to get to is, our socialization skills have been mutilated basically with this social media stuff, because everybody's just brought up with the phone in their hand. And they're just plugged in, and even for dating, for example, with there's so much now online, for dating, which I have done online years ago, but I'm just not into it now. I never could understand online dating, honestly. I just don't understand why people put themselves out there. Here's a picture of me. Here's what I like. Is anybody out there like me? Will anybody out there go out with me? I don't know. For me as a person, I'd like to make organic relationships. You know what I mean? They just kind of happen, and what's meant for your life comes, instead of I'm not a chaser on stuff. I don't like chasing after people, chasing after things. I just feel just live true, and whatever's meant for you comes into your life. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah, so with the online dating sites, I find I think sometimes people are more comfortable to actually meet somebody on the online dating site than out in person. If I was out somewhere sometime and maybe I started talking to somebody, and I think the woman would feel more comfortable if she met me online than out in person, just having a conversation. If you go out, you go up to a woman and be like, oh, hi, can I tell you, blah, 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 or I don't know, whatever. If you just strike up a conversation, oh, is this guy going to jump me in the parking lot? What kind of creepo is this? But if you send a message online, oh, hi, I like baseball. Do you like baseball? Can we talk sometime? Oh, look, he's so nice. It's a weird type of thing. So I feel the social media and these type of things, the way we are connecting as humans, we're social creatures. We human interaction, one-on-one contact. And I don't just mean sexual. I'm talking about one-on-one contact of being with people, talking to people, looking in their eyes, engaging, feeling their vibration, understanding their essence as they speak, these deeper things that kind of get shunned over when it comes to social media and stuff. It's all so one-dimensional. So I don't know. That's basically the thought process I have today. Where are we going with this? Can we get back to, I feel like, I always say this, of course, the powers that be trying to keep us from being our best selves. I mean, it's just another example, right? I'm saying they create this social media, and Facebook wasn't created by Zuckerberg at college and all that. It was DARPA, it's CIA. These are programs that are created. It's a military, and then they put a face up there. Oh, Mark Zuckerberg, and they make a whole story about it. He created this, and they make the movie, and the movie's not even true about where it came from or anything. So that's the stuff you got to think about too. And they know what they're doing. It's social engineering, social programming, manipulation, and it's all designed to keep us apart. And like I said, these younger people come up and they're just so used to their phone, and they're more comfortable to talk to somebody through this and get their information through this than through this. And I guess even through this is really kind of still through this, because this is we're not face to face right now, but we are kind of. Here I am. Hey, I'm gonna sneak up on you. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, hey, what's going on? A little applause for that. Gotta have a little fun. Are we having fun? Fun. We're gonna have some fun. I'm watching myself back. That's hilarious. Hey-o. So yeah, just keep it in mind when it comes to the social media. Enjoy social media. Do it. It's a fun thing, whatever. But it's honestly, my Facebook feed now is so many advertisements and stuff and pages, as a suggested for you, suggested for you. I don't even see half of my friends what they're doing or anything on Facebook. It's kind of it's kind of weird. I don't know. It's like really, really weird. So, but anyway, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, let's remember that we are social creatures, and let's think about, engaging with our fellow human. Like, instead of being scared, I just see people outside. I've talked about this so many times. I go for my walks, or I'm at the pool, or I'm wherever I'm at, or in a store. Somebody comes near them. They're always like, everybody's kind of looking like, oh, they're afraid to make eye contact. Is this a crazy person? Why are they looking at me? Why is he saying hello to me? I mean, like, I know it's just like, natural stuff would be just to, hey, how you doing? Like, oh, look, a fellow human being. I want to say hello. That's how I am. I mean, I get it that not everybody is quite as gregarious as me, and wants to talk to everybody and say hello. And some people are like, what the hell? I really don't want to talk to you at all, or talk to anybody for that matter. So can you just back off and leave me alone? But but I like to talk to people. If you ever met me in person, I'd be happy to talk to you. I'm talking to you now. I'll talk to you then. I'm just a talker. I like talking and sharing positive messages and positive vibes. That's what it's all about here on Operation Status Quo. That's what we do. Just creating that space to look at things a little bit differently, keep things in mind. I mean, we all know what's going on with all that kind of stuff, social media and everything. And I just find it interesting because I heard a lot of, I was watching somebody else today talk on another channel on YouTube that I like, and they were talking about how like so many fake accounts in their name pop up, even like on Twitter. The one guy was talking, he gives financial advice or something. He was talking about, he posts something on his Twitter, and then like somebody else that changes one letter, in the handle name, but still uses his same picture, and starts chatting with somebody. And then those people think they're really chatting with him. And it's like, God knows whatever, spammer, bot, or whatever. Same thing with a lot of, I always mention that I enjoy some of the astrology channels that I watch on YouTube, and I find that interesting because just about all of them come on and say like, I'll never contact you, I'll never send you my phone number, I'll never ask you for anything, I'm not on PayPal, I'm not on Venmo, I'm not on WhatsApp. If you receive anything from anybody saying that they're me, asking anything from you, either report them or delete them. It's spam. And I've heard like this one woman, Pam Gregory. She's great. If you ever want to look her up, she does really great stuff. Pam Gregory on YouTube. You can find her, and she says it all the time, like, I don't do readings, I don't do this, I don't do that. And she'll always say, people are emailing me asking why this, why that. And it's like, I didn't send that to you, so you got to be careful. So please be careful out there. I'm hope that I'm really me right now. I believe I am, and I'm going to continue to try to do so. Maybe one day when I get 30 fake accounts that are chasing after me, trying to pretend that they're me, then I'll know that I've done something right on YouTube. I've made it. They're copycatting me out there. Who the hell would want to copycat this? Hey-o. So, all right. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Be mindful of social media out there, and don't be afraid to engage with your fellow human being. Let's bring real socialization back. We should have like a big ring around the rosy party. Every community, gets together, maybe 40, 50, 60 people. I don't know, all in little circles all around the neighborhoods doing ring around the rosy, a bucket full of bows. Actually, I think that's a whole Satan thing, too. I should get that girl who was talking about that, about the 4th of July being a pagan holiday. There's a whole thing about ring around the rosy, too. Ashes, we all fall down. I think that's a Satan thing too. So, anyway, it's all Satan out there. I mean, that's the mainstream world. Quite honestly, the mainstream world is the evil trying to keep you from, your higher self. So you can use that as like a baseline for everything. Okay. All right. Anyway, that's it for me here today on Operation Status Quo, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. Please take the time to like, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. God bless each and every one of you. I love you out there individually as well as a group, for sure. And I'll be back with you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? So we'll see what we do tomorrow. Maybe we'll do one of my fun things tomorrow. Every day's fun here, though, on Operation Status Quo, so don't let me mislead you. All right, anyway, until tomorrow, Operation Status Quo, disengaged.